All right, we have 7.36 today. Just released. I have not read this. Let's get into it.
Dazzle.
So, innate abilities are like a passive. There's a special passive for every hero. But some are like a straight up upgrade to an existing spell, and some are brand new passives. So, what's Dazzle's passive? What's Dazzle's? Oh my god, every single. Okay. So, innate ability. Dazzle has Weave. Ability returns as an innate ability, passive. It cannot be leveled up. Dazzle's abilities apply Weave to both allies and enemies they affect. Increasing allied armor, reducing enemy armor. What? So this was already here. Multiple instances of this effect stack. Stack duration 8 seconds. Armor change per stack 1. Each stack has an independent duration. Okay, that's exactly the same as. What? So Dazzle has no change? Are you kidding me? He doesn't get armor change per stack 1. Oh my god, it's horrible. Wait. So, because before it was 1, 2, 3. So, before it was at level 1, it was armor 1, 2, 3. So, this is basically your level 1 ult, but you can't level it up now. What? Oh my god, that's terrible. And then you get a different talent, right? The level 25 talent is +1 weave armor reduction slash increase. So instead of a plus 0.5, you get a +1. So I guess level 1 through 5, you're stronger. Level 6, you're whatever. So your laning stage is much better, right? Okay, so let's do this, right? So I'm doing da 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 da. I'm walking level 1. I cast spell. Oh, and then we. Okay. Now let's go back up. Facets. Facets are a hero customization choice. Facets are a hero customization choice that provide the ability to better align the playstyle of a hero with a specific match or player preference. Facets are specific to heroes. Each hero has at least 2 facets. Okay, so before the match begins, you choose basically a talent. But the difference is this special talent, you can't pick the other talent anytime in the game. You have to stick with this one talent. Okay, so let's look at Dazzle's facets. Dazzle's facets. So Dazzle has 2 facets. Whenever Dazzle overheals himself or an ally, it grants that hero a physical barrier equal to the amount overhealed for 10 seconds. If the target already has a larger barrier from Nothel Boon, it will be refreshed instead of added onto. What? What's overheal? Okay, so it basically means an ally, right? Let me level myself up to max. Wait, what if I do it again? Only 145? Wait, what? So what's the maximum barrier I can give somebody? Wait, why do I have a barrier? Oh, I healed myself. Oh, because I heal myself every time I use Shadow Wave. Okay. Are the talents the same? Okay, so this one has more value now. The plus 45 talent. So you can give him a 190 barrier. If you have La Holy Locket, you can give him a 246 barrier. Let's say it's like this, and I go, boom. Now he has a 371 barrier. Interesting. I mean, the barrier number is not that high, but basically, if you go this, what is it called? Passive? What is it called? If you go this facet, if you go the healing facet, you are basically telling the world that you are going to be playing like a heal based build. The barrier is nice, but you're only going to be able to give your carry a barrier of like at most like 400 in the perfect scenario. But I think in a lot of team fights though, you will be giving them a barrier. So you like healing them and sending your carry into the battle with extra armor, like basically 3 extra armor and a 200 damage barrier is pretty nice. What is the what does this give? 400 HP barrier. What happens if I do that? Oh, it adds on. Okay. So that can be nice. So you're giving people barriers. And you're giving yourself a barrier too. Okay. Let's look at the other facet. Poison Touch. Well, this one's called Poison Bloom. Every 4 times Dazzle attacks a target affected by Poison Touch, the target takes a burst of 25, 50, 75, 100 additional damage and prompts additional Poison Touch projectiles to fire at enemies within 450 AoE to the target. The amount of additional units affected is equal to the Poison Touch number of targets. The amount of additional units affected is equal to the Poison Touch number of targets? So by level, you mean by 246A? Okay. And it's the burst damage is affected by the plus 60. Ooh. This could be very good. So this makes it so your Poison Touch scales into the late game a little bit more. So, I'm hitting him. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now he has it. Now if I attack him... Oh, okay. And then I could attack him. This is fun, actually. Oh, now he has it. Now suddenly... Oh no, they all have it. Oh, and if I have Ags... Oh my god. Oh. Okay, now this is a big buff right here. Oh my god. Because now with Ags, you're already hitting everyone, and now they're going to have like 10 poison touches on them. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Because there are a lot of times in lane that you get into a situation where you poison touch one person, and then you're like, you tried to poison touch both people, but then you're like, oh shoot, I only poison touch one. I'll hit him twice and then walk back into the creep wave. But now you can still pressure that one guy, and then you got poison touch on both. So you can really be aggressive with your poison touches, and it's probably going to change the way you play around your poison touch. I think this 450 AoE is pretty small. I think it should be like 500. But I think that's pretty good. The damage is weird because damage per second is 112. And so split damage is 100. Oh, oh, I see. So it deals extra damage to that one person you're attacking. So it just buffs poison touch against that one dude. Right? I don't see the does a little burst damage. That's pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot. This makes poison touch much more fun and a little more scalable into the late game with damage. Um, the thing about it though is, based on which one of these you pick, you're probably going to kind of like, it's going to set up your game the entire time. So you're going to take the if you get the facet about poison touch, you're going to play around poison touch. So you're probably going to get the 300 poison touch attack range talent. Well, you're definitely going to get that talent for sure now. You're going to get the DPS talent. You're probably going to get the attack speed talent now that I think about it. Before, I could have done either, but you're probably going to take the attack speed talent. And you're probably going to take the poison touch slow talent and play around your poison touch. Oof. So I think that makes your ether lens much more valuable. And I think it makes Shadow Wave not like the second spell that you play around. So definitely the ult is much weaker now because you don't have the minus armor in the late game. But the early game, you're much stronger. And this literally comes in, this starts at level 1. So you can be very strong level 1. Well, you can be very strong up to level 6. You are much, much stronger because you have your ult built in from level 1 through 6. It's only after level 12 when you level your ult to level 2 that things become weaker. I would probably even consider not even leveling this thing past 1 for a while. The only thing that changes is you get 1 second cooldown reduction. So I feel like it's not going to make that much of a difference. You could, I don't know, but you could probably consider not even leveling this and just leveling Poison Touch, Shadow Wave, Shallow Grave. Maybe getting the 3rd point in Shallow Grave instead of the 2nd point in Bad Juju. That might be a consideration. Okay, other strategy time extended. Don't care. Don't really care. Oh, wow. I didn't know that it bypassed backdoor protection. Hero denies now grant experience to the hero who created the deniable buff. Motherfucker. All right. So your poison touch, which is, I'm sure, still deniable, under 25%. Now at least you get XP instead of just being completely denied. Oh, thank God. Holding Alt displays the vision range of all watchers in the map. Thank God. I would always ward up to a high ground and be like, oh my God, I just walked into this watcher range. What? Wait a second. Persistent range indicator. Alt. Oh. Well, I gotta go to Dota Labs to do this. Persistent range indicator. Okay. So if I go like this, Alt. Oh my God, I just walk around with a, oh wow, holy smokes. Okay, I don't want that. Stop it. How do I cancel this? Oh my God. Now this is the one I want to do. Because I never know when where my blink cursor. Yeah, now this is pretty good. This is kind of pay to win because if you guys didn't know, if you cast your blink, right? So right now, my blink edge is right on axe. If I click too far, I actually don't make it to axe. So I go a little bit closer. So it's always good to have... Wait, right click it. Yeah, it's always good to have this range indicator. I really like this. I really like this. I think all Dazzles should play with their... I think they should play with their Shadow Wave, maybe. If you're kind of worried about the early game, you can put it on the Shallow Grave range. But because a lot of times I want to hover around, like in big team fights in the late game, I want to hover around the range where I can walk up in Shallow Grave. And so now I can have this circle and kind of be like this. And so I kind of know when I can Shallow Grave a unit. That's actually really good. I like that. My summary for this patch: Dazzle is much stronger in the early game, so be very aggressive with Poison Touch if you pick the Poison Touch facet, because you have your ult basically built in until level 6. And also, you may want to consider not even leveling your ult past level 1. I still think level 1 is pretty good. You get cooldowns reduced by 4 seconds. And you might want to consider leveling everything else up. So, yeah, play around with it. I think you're going to have to change the pace of how you play. You're definitely going to have to play a little more aggressive in the early game, but it should make games pretty fun. And I like this new Dota tool tip where you can see the circle. All right, let's have some fun and win some games.